Hello and welcome back to the Mind of an Interior Designer podcast. I'm your host, Ellie Fenlon, aka Fenloninteriors, and I just want to say Happy New Year and welcome back to the podcast. I am so ready to yap about interiors in 2025, but that also does come along with an apology because last year I embarrassingly provided three whole episodes in 2024. But this is my 2020 Thrive era, and I am holding myself accountable to provide you guys an episode every single week. So what's that, like 52 episodes throughout the whole year? No, I know. So if you're not already, please do make sure you are subscribed because you can also hold me accountable too. That is if you are on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and if you're watching me over here on YouTube, hello. Hope you like the background. I need some little, some more styling bits here. That will all be revealed in 2025. But yeah, I'm really excited to be back. I've got so many exciting things I want to talk about. And yeah, if you stumbled here by accident, I am your new podcast host, interior favourite, who knows, but thank you so much for stopping by. So today I am talking about a lot of things. We're talking about Pantone's Colour of the Year, which I actually did an episode on last year. If you haven't already, you can go back and watch that because it's not very far away. It's only 3 episodes ago, so make sure you catch up with that. We're also going to look at the Pinterest trend report, as well as my own predictions for interiors for this year. And of course, it wouldn't be an episode of my podcast without an audience question / dilemma, because I do like to help you all out. So yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to start with Pantone's Colour of the Year. Now, last year it was Peach Fuzz. I was honestly not the biggest fan of that colour, and I feel like a lot of people weren't. I'm not here to judge, but it just weren't my favourite, okay? It actually seems to be a running theme that every single year when I start the podcast, I do Pantone. Like, they're getting a big shout out here, do you know what I mean? Anyway, Peach Fuzz was last year. Now, if you're not aware of what Pantone is, obviously I did the episode last year and I literally broke down what Pantone is, who they are and what they do. So I won't bore you too much. But basically, they set the scene for the design industry. They look at what's going on in the environment, media, social, just everything basically that's going on in the world, literally from like political to just so many things obviously going on the daily life around us every single day. Does that even make sense? I don't know. But everything goes on, and they just like look at what's going on and then decide upon the colour, which is like crazy. So this year's colour is actually probably my favourite Pantone colour they've ever released. I never usually like them, but I am so on board with this one, and I will tell you why. It is mocha mousse. Absolutely sensational. I just can't believe like this is the first ever one I've liked. It's just given yummy. Okay, it's given luxurious, it's given tasty, like just that chocolatey brown. I also love the way that Pantone like marketed it as well. It was kind of like an ice cream sundae, which I loved because it's given tasty, and it's also a clever way of using like the food market, and that we're seeing a lot over on social media, the likes of TikTok, the whole like little sweet treat. They've kind of, I feel, jumped into that more so. Now, not to be that person, but I did predict that chocolate would be last year's colour, and I always think that Pantone base the colour that we're seeing this year off what went on last year. So I said last year, what's going on now, what they're predicting is actually 2024's colour, which I technically predicted at the beginning of 24. I know, I'm made up with myself, but I think I did state it last year. Pantone, where's my job? Okay, because I am just making your job so much easier, and I'm stating what the colour should be at the beginning of the year. Now, I think, although great choice, as I said last year, it should have been there. I was expecting burgundy. I don't know about anyone else. Seen it a lot in fashion, seen it a lot in the media. It's coming into the interior slowly. Car design, hair colour, like we're seeing it everywhere. So I actually was shocked that we haven't seen burgundy. But then if burgundy is the 2026 colour, honestly, Pantone, just give me a job already. Like, give me a job. Like, I am needed in your team. Can you believe that that's a job? By the way, I'm still not over that. So obviously we have the colour, but there is actually a like statement, should we call it, of why they've picked it and all that. So I'm gonna read that out to you. So Mocha mousse is a subtle, subtle. That's how it's spelled though, let's be real, subtle. Subtle. So, oh, can't even say it. Oh, it's giving embarrassing now, right? Okay, subtle. Mocha mousse is a subtle evolution from last year's colour of the year, peach fuzz. Oh my god, honestly, first episode back and I can't even get my words out. It's giving embarrassing. Peach fuzz, which reflected similar themes. As people continue to seek harmony and balance, there is a shift to focusing on curating moments or experiences that boost our sense of personal comfort and wellness. Boring. Sorry, I could have come up with something better than that. They've also said all of our senses are awakened, in particular our sense of taste for obvious reasons, and our sense of smell. Who can resist the chocolate cookies baking in the oven? That bit's a bit of me. The first bit, it's just, honestly, sometimes I think, just say the colour. Just tell me this is the colour of the year. I don't want all the airy-fairy stuff around it. I just think, it took you 12 months to come up with that. Sorry to be rude, Pantone, but come on, come off it. It's got nothing to do with peach fuzz. If anything, I think the polar opposites on the scale. Peach fuzz was okay. It was cool. So it's that terracotta, outdoorsy, light-hearted colour. Chocolate's just got this richness about it. So the totally opposite end of the scale. So the fact that you've made such a boring statement is really upsetting, and the fact that it took you a year to come up with that is also embarrassing. The second part, though, I can get on board with. In particular, the whole sense of taste, sense of smell. And as I said before, this whole food market and Rhodes are doing it so much lately, where they are actually putting their glosses and obviously what they smell / technically taste of, because when you have Rhodes lips, I've just got the case, sorry if you're watching on YouTube, but iconic. Oh my goodness, I am literally colour of the year. The fact that that's backwards is annoying me. Sorry if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, sorry. Basically, I've got the Rove phone case and the lip gloss, and it's mocha mousse. Told you, I just knew before it even arrived. I sensed it. But the food side of it is really, really clever, especially in the marketing industry. So if you are listening and you're in marketing, it's perfect this year. We're going to be seeing it so much. There's a guy also who does I don't know if you've heard of him, he does we love a little sweet treat. Have you watched his TikToks? If not, please watch him. He's so funny. He just has a little sweet treat every day. But I'm like, that is so me. So I feel like they've just conducted all of that to make this colour. It is so rich and it's just gorgeous, and as I say, with the marketing, just be clever about it, because that's what we're going to be seeing. It's not only a nod to colour, but it's also a nod to marketing, as in to say start using food, because it encourages us and our brain, because we're all food lovers, to actually make a purchase. So really, really clever that we're sort of turning to that. Also, I want to just say what else Pantone is said as well. It describes the tone as warming brown hue with an inherent richness that nurtures with its suggestion of the delectable quality of cacao, chocolate and coffee, appealing to our desire for comfort. You know what, I can get on board with that. I think that's a great statement and I agree with it. Now, okay, it's all fun and games telling you that that's colour of the year, but how can you use it at home? And especially, I said about trends and the fact that I don't like to follow them. I sort of just like to see them as a guide, see, that's what's going on here. I mean, has she wore brown today for a reason? Potentially, I'm not giving away any secrets, okay? But we like a nod to see where we're heading, because sometimes we can get a bit lost in the sauce, So brown is here. And I said at the beginning of the year last year, and you should have bought one because prices are going to soar. They're going to soar. I said last year, I'm all about the chocolate brown sofa. So if you have not bought yourself a chocolate brown sofa and you see the prices go up this year, don't say I did not warn you in 2024, because that's what we're going to be seeing. And I also want to talk about Rochelle Humes, because we're all about lifting each other up. So if Rochelle is listening or watching, hi. She's obviously not, but a girl can dream. She's just started her own podcast, and Heselic Designs designed the set. It is my dream podcast studio set. Okay, so watch this space. If you're watching on YouTube, the background, it's going to be different this year. Okay, when Manifest and Rochelle Humes is set up, she had the most beautiful armchairs. They look spongy. I just wanted to melt into it. I want to be a guest on her podcast just to sit on the chair, just to sit on the chair facing her and just be like, yeah, Rochelle, this is gorgeous. Yeah, Heselic Designs designed it. It's unreal and cleverly colour of the year, new podcast. Honestly, it's just everything about it is just chef's kiss for me. Also with brown, like, I think that's a bold decision. Like, 2 brown armchairs, like, I feel like a lot of the time we go for a bit of soft, a bit of muted, like we're scared to just be like, bam, like that's what we're having. So chocolate brown, I suppose, well, it's mocha mousse, but obviously an interior chocolate brown. I feel like being brave and bold with that sort of richness of colour, even if you don't want it to be brown, I think you should go brown though, or burgundy maybe, or green. That'd be nice. Okay, we've gone off topic. Yeah, but something statement in your sofas, and especially if you've got children as well. I feel like you don't want to go for a white sofa, cream, all those sorts of things like that. I get it. Chocolate brown's great because if children have chocolate fingers, you're gonna be fine. Okay, no need to wipe because it's already chocolate colour. Decorative pieces as well, especially if you're doing it on like more of an affordable level. If it's something that you want to introduce but you haven't got the budget, which is absolutely fine. We all can't start fresh every single year when these colours like are thrown at us. Just think about like H&M have brought out some gorgeous staple brown decorative pieces, which I'm absolutely in love with. I'll link them on my Instagram and anything like that I'm talking about, by the way. So if you've not already followed me at fenloninteriors on there, definitely make sure you do, because I can give you a helping hand. Curtains, like proper gorgeous, like drape, maybe not drape, maybe more like pleated, like hotel look. Do you know what I mean? Like that luxury vibe in a chocolate colour. Wow. Honestly, I'm a convert. You're going to be seeing everything chocolate. Not only have I got the biggest sweet tooth for chocolate, by the way, I'm a chocolate fiend. You're going to be seeing it in my home. Like, it's insane. It's just going to be crazy. So yeah, they're probably like me pointers for how to use the chocolate brown. In terms of colour pairings, pairing it with olive, cream, plum, burgundy, charcoal, all these rich colours are really going to set and pop that chocolate off. I just think, what an interesting saying I've just said there. Yeah, I feel like those colours combined are really going to just interlock them hues together and just really create something rich, something luxurious. And don't be afraid as well to use this new chocolate colour, well, mocha mousse. Don't be afraid to use it in your home. You know, we see it a lot in fashion, you know, when we're doing like a neutral palette as well, mixing with creams, white. It's the same in fashion as it is in interiors. So basically just don't be afraid to mix and match and have a go this year. I really love to see it when people see something like this and they just go for it, and you'd be surprised once you like run with the wind. You really will get something gorgeous. Is that the saying, run with the wind? Honestly, use first podcast episode back. Please bear with me. Anyway, we're now on to Pinterest Trend Report. If anyone doesn't know what this is, basically Pinterest look at everything that's been searched highly this year, well 2024, and they take that and run with it and tell you what we're going to be seeing in 2025. It's probably a very good indication, I think, of what we'll be seeing. Last year's trend report was incredible, and this year's even better. Now there's 20 in total. Obviously not everything does relate to interior design, so I've actually got 8 here of the 20, which is not far wrong. Not far off. So we're going to start with, by the way, if you're watching me on YouTube, sorry, little side note, I record this in a very freezing cold. I may as well be sitting outside in -2 right now. This has a central heating system that technically doesn't work. I'm hugging a water bottle. So, you know, this is what consistency is all about. This is what showing up for the podcast is all about. Basically getting pneumonia. It really is at this point. Anyway, I digress. Honestly, if you are new here, I'm so sorry, but this is what you get with me. I just go off on a tangent. I can't help myself. I really can't. I just love chatting to you. I love yapping. What can I say? So first one, cherry coded. Now, cherry as a whole has been searched now more than ever, especially cherry bedroom. That was up by 100%. Now, don't get me wrong, I've got a cherry charm on my Coach bag. You know, the vibes, like where everyone's doing like the little like charms, key rings, trinkets on a bag. Absolutely love that, by the way. They didn't mention that anywhere, which I was shocked at, let me tell you. I was expecting cherry coded to be like this sort of rich, dark, mysterious, like kind of vibe, but it was actually given cutesy, because I searched everything that the Pinterest trend report have done to see what the vibes were. It's given cutesy. It's not given demure. It's given very cutesy, let me tell you. It's given more like Valentine's, like, no, I don't want to say like cheap and cheerful, but I kind of want to say cheap and cheerful. But I wanted to say like, you know, sexy cherry, like, you know what I mean, like something a bit more subtle, bit more about it. So I was a bit disappointed, but I can see where it's heading, and I would like it to head in more mysterious toned, like dark, luxurious spaces. So I hope it heads that way. Then we had Rococo era. I was thinking, by the way, is there somewhere in town, correct me if I'm wrong, that actually is called Rococo? So I'm honestly starting to think if Rococo have got the inspo from this. So I didn't even know what the Rococo era was, and that's what I feel like I love about doing this podcast, because I get to like research into stuff and sort of learn things that I didn't even know. So it was a period that was both opulent and ultra feminine. So Gen Z and boomers are driving this love and classic vibe with their luxury accessories and ornate tablescapes. I can't speak, forget it. And ornate tablescapes. It comes from the French word for decorative rocks and shells found in fountains and grottos. Now, I think has this been searched from like the Bridgerton vibes that we're getting at the minute. I love Bridgerton, and I feel like that's just sort of like something that's now came and just won't leave. Like, I absolutely love it. And what I'm loving about it as well is the like ornate / grand, like not holding back with our interiors. And I think Bridgerton has really encapsulated that sort of vibe, including like the return of frills and sort of like the oldie worldy interiors, not so much the Antwacky kind of vibes. Honestly, please don't get mixed up with the two, because I know we can. So yeah, and that leads me on to another report that they've come out with, which was Surreal Soirees, and it's all about the tablescape. So we're thinking curvy candlesticks, fantastical flowers, and gravity-defying centerpieces. So in 2025, people will infuse the tablescapes and decor with modern surrealism. Now, what I love about that is it's just being creative with tables. Like, I find we're going to be seeing like people not go out as much and host their friends. Like, I love hosting the girls. I love like when we did like the gingerbread party. I love decorating the table. I love getting little jars with all like the chocolates and stuff in for them. And I absolutely love this girl on TikTok / Insta called Matilda. I don't know her handle. If I find it, I'll link it below. But she does the most amazing like tables, and she always invites her friends round, and they always watch like Formula One. And honestly, the tables she does are like, I want to be invited to a dinner party. Like, that's the vibe we're going for. And do you know what? I'm just going to try and have a go this year and see where we go. I'll try and put it on social media. I just kind of want to have a theme. I think we just love a theme. I love a theme. Like, if something's going on and I can theme it and I can create something from it, I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that. So that sort of soiree, no one's going out, everyone's staying in. Are we going backwards? Who knows? But I just hate going out now. I've turned into that person. I prefer sitting in with me snacks and enjoying my own company. To be fair, I have turned into that antisocial girly at the minute, but I do go through phases, so who knows. Anyway, Castle Court, another one. It's given traitors, to be honest. That sort of like ancient castles. Now, do you know what I thought was mad? Because they give like you loads of facts and figures. Castle house plans up by 45%. Castle house plans, someone searched into Pinterest, not someone, 45% people have optionally like searched castle house plan, like as in like, you know, like the drawings that you do like when you're doing design and things like that, actual drawings. Sorry, who has the money for a castle? Who's finding a castle on the market right now? What 45%? Sorry, what in the medieval is that? Because who's searching that? Like, I just couldn't think of anything worse than having a castle. Could you imagine that? Imagine, like, it'd have all sorts on it. You couldn't do anything to it. But anyway, I'm not here to judge, okay? If we're sort of going back in that historical interiors vibe, it's kind of like the idea of finding maybe shopping more in charity shops and maybe finding like antiques. Again, there is a difference between antiques and Antwacky. Let's just get that right now. Very, very solid line in between both of those, and I think you know which side you'd rather be on, because I know which side I would rather be on. Anyway, next one, Dolled Up. I honestly think this is from like the Barbie movement that we see in the year before last. I think that's just a movement that started and never going to stop. Also hit the rumours, Barbie 2. Do you think that's truth or lie? Please let me know. I hope it's true. But then I also think, could it be like Toy Story, where you get like 5 episodes in and then you're thinking to yourself, oh, I should have just left it at where it was like needed. Like there's rumours about Elf 2. No, Elf. I don't want to see 2. Like, you're just ruining something good. Like, don't ruin something, don't break something that way broken. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, this whole cute core trinkety, I actually really like it. I think it's nice. I think it's a nice theme. I'm liking seeing it on social media. I enjoy seeing people like unusual things. Okay, not that I would necessarily purchase it or live with it. And this is what I don't like about like trolls and things who have opinions. I enjoy liking other people fall in love with something, if that makes sense. Like, okay, yeah, I might see something and think bit quirky, couldn't live with it, but I appreciate it. As a designer, I think that's sort of the mindset you have anyway. But I love seeing people in videos get excited about things in interiors and they just fall in love with it. And I think you're really enjoying that. You're sitting with that and you're feeling the vibes, and that's sort of the whole cute core vibe, I think. Next up is called, I might pronounce this wrong, probably wouldn't surprise me the way this podcast is going because I can't speak. Terra Futura. That's never know how you say it. Terra Futura. Okay, so this is sustainable living. It's sort of like the movement into the future. Excuse me. Have had a little bit of that flu that's going around, so do excuse. Yeah, it's that sustainable living. This was a bit of a wild card search. Solar punk house. That is up by 80%, so I thought, I need to search this. What's going on here? It looked like something out the Lorax. Anyone seen that film, The Lorax, where they have all them whimsical houses? That's what a solar punk house is. Didn't even know that was even a thing, a phrase. It was the wildest thing I've ever seen. Apparently that's up by 80%. Again, who is searching these terms? Okay, we've got that. And then what else did we have? Flipping castle house plans. Who are these people? I need a word. And you come speak on my podcast. I need to speak to you. What's going on? As well as self-sufficient gardens as well. That's tell you what, I'm having an absolute nightmare here, yous. Honestly, when you do the podcast on your own, unfortunately, you can't make edits. You can't even, like that water break, I struggled to even like sip, get some, water. Next up, we have primary play. Now, this is about adulting. Okay, in 2025, everyone will let their inner child shine because no one wants to adult anymore. Adulting is overrated, if you ask me. And it will be sort of like this hand-painted, funky murals onto furniture, jazzing everything up, like turning grown-up spaces into playful little havens. Your space is officially your canvas. I think that should be the case anyway. If you've got your own home and you are out there creating a very adult space, okay, yeah, love it, like, can appreciate it. And to be fair, I do love a luxury look and design. But if you're not in love with your space, what is the point? Like, you need to be making sure that every aspect of like your space is playful, it's cute, it's going along with your vibe, like things that you like. Like, why wouldn't you want to create a haven? Like, why would you want to go home every day and feel the mood drop? Like, you just wouldn't, would you? So making sure we're having fun in our spaces is definitely something that we're going to be doing in 2025. And then as well, we've got mix and maximalist. So that's about like this sort of eclectic apartment. I think that was up by like something like 430%. For some reason, I have not wrote it down. Have I got it here? 630%, yeah. Oh my goodness. So that is a crazy figure, by the way. So mix and maximalist is probably one of my favourites, and especially the eclectic apartment. Like, I have just bought Lego. Okay, going off on that theme about being adult and being overrated. I have just bought Lego. Okay, never in my 26 years have I ever owned Lego. I was a child once, didn't own Lego, but now all of a sudden I feel the need to have Lego. Why? Because of the eclectic apartment trend. It really is. All these cool people in America who have the sickest apartment studios, and they had this Lego Porsche. And I've been eyeing it up for about 2 years, not gonna lie. I've been asking for it for Christmas. I think my mum thought it was a joke. She's probably thinking, why is my 26-year-old daughter asking for a piece of Lego? Is she okay? Is she having a midlife crisis? Probably am. And yeah, I didn't basically get it, and I went and bought it myself the other day. I thought, you know what? I do have adult money, and I really need that. I think it looks sick in the studio. I think it looks amazing styled. And it's these sorts of like quirky pieces and quirky touches that represent our personality and our boredom, and lift up a space, and it's sort of converting something that would be like child's play into interiors. And I absolutely love that concept. I love bear bricks, as you know, balloon dogs. It's sort of creating that sort of eclectic wow pieces. There's this guy I follow, I'll share him on Instagram because I totally forgot his name, I'm so sorry. He has the sickest pad. I think it's in like New York. He has like Drake posters and like candles that look like G-Wagons, and talking about it sounds ridiculous, but the way he composes his room and his space is incredible. I really admire it, and that's sort of the way I'd like to go, which people are surprised about with me being such a like minimalistic neutral girly, but I just really love it. So yeah, they're Pinterest trends. You can get that yourself actually if you go onto Pinterest. That is available to anybody to look at, but I just love analysing it, especially in my job, to see what we're going to be seeing and looking at in 2025, which then brings me on to trends, my own personal predictions. And I mean, last year's were good news. Come on, you've got to give me that. Like, last year's was good. So I actually feel like mine are quite niche, you know? They're not really like bam, they're just like a little bit niche out there. So I'm actually jumping off the whole mix and max list. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of collectibles. We seen Sunny Angels last year, and I know they're only like little decorative pieces for the back of your phone, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot of collectibles in the home. We're going to be seeing a lot more interest in bear bricks, and I do like to say that I sort of set the tone on that. People still come on my page and don't know what they are, and I honestly made them viral like 2 years ago. And I'll stand by that. I will stand by that. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be seeing that. Also, like the balloon dogs, as I said, and just anything that is collectible in the home. And I think there'll be new releases of that. To be honest, I think artists are going to start like bringing out more things like that. Obviously, I've just got Lego. Could we see the step up in Lego? Who knows? We've also got plates themed. Now, there is a very expensive brand of plate. I'm not going to butcher the name, but you all know the ones with like the face on and things like that. Again, collectible. But we're going to see a lot more themed plates in general. You know, you've got Letitia Rogette, who does like the quotes and things like that, Anna and Nina and the likes. And actually TK Maxx at the minute have brought out amazing dupes. But I think we're going to see more of a statement plate, which again brings me back to tablescapes and soirees and just sort of that whole design aspect surrounding it, which I love. Slim Adams, who is an amazing photographer whose prints are gorgeous. You've probably seen it in a lot more influencer and celebrities' homes as of late. That has caused the rise of photography prints, I think, this year. Even if they're their own, you don't have to obviously pay out fortunes for Slim Adams. H&M have brought out some gorgeous dupes, but we're going to be seeing more photography on our walls. And I don't mean like posed like graduation pictures. I mean like on the beach, like sort of that Portofino kind of vibe, which I'm really excited for. As I say, these are predictions. We're going to be saying goodbye to the television, okay? I'm sorry, okay? I know the older audience might not like that, but we are seeing Samsung have done it, especially turning it into art, like the hidden TV. No one wants to see a TV on the wall nowadays, and I get it. It's just a big massive technological square stuck on my wall. I actually don't have a television in my bedroom. Am I the only girl who doesn't have a television in bedroom? 26. I actually just have me Mac on with like a film on, and I just find it so much cozy. I have like a small light, you know, and ban the big light. I just like that sort of cozy vibe. Also, a lot of people are buying projectors and things like that to shine on the walls. Again, I love that vibe. Like, I just think a telly's very bulky. It's very in your face. I don't like TVs, if I'm being honest. I do think they're ugly. So I love the fact that Samsung have created a television to turn into art. And unfortunately, this actually isn't sponsored by Samsung. But if you would like to sponsor the next episode, I'm willing, here and willing. But yeah, they are really nice. Two Bs we're going to be seeing, brown and burgundy, okay? Again, brown is obviously colour of the year, but burgundy, I just can't see the back of it. I really can't. And I actually think both of those hues mixed together, even in decorative pieces, if you've got like a very beige space, neutral palette, and you just like, bam, you know, them two, because they kind of got them same undertones, I think, to them, to really brighten up a room. And then finally, garden living rooms. Okay, last year I said we're going to be seeing a lot more in gardens. I think post-COVID, there was a lot of more importance to the garden, especially when we were stuck in and sort of got that summer to go out. We take more care of it and realised actually gardens are sick, like we should take more care of them. Last year I've seen a lot more people investing in the garden spaces to turn it into another living room. That's what we're going to be seeing this year, a garden living space. Like, you're not going to be wanting to be inside, you're going to be wanting to be outside, and you want to be going to create a cozy hub. And the way you're going to be doing that is a lot more soft couches, not even like an outdoor horrible looking chair. A lot of these brands now are going to be creating what only can be described as an outdoor sofa. Like, literally you'd think it was for the indoors. And as well, I'm loving lighting. I bought last year like a proper like standing lamp that you'd think you'd put inside, but it's for outside, and they are solar powered as well, which is great. But that sort of like moody like when all the lights, when it goes dark and you turn all your lights on, just creating that ambience in your garden space is something that I really am here for. So yeah, that is all sort of the conversational points. Now we're moving on to the final part, which every time we do a podcast, I answer a audience question. So if you've never asked a question and you want me to answer it and for it to be discussed, defo drop me a email or DM me on the Minds of an Interior Designer podcast on Instagram. But we're going to have today's question. It was actually asked over the festive period. I think it's a really good one to sort of come out of 2024 and into 25. Excuse me. So that question is, how to make your home less bare after taking the Christmas decorations down? I think that's a great question. I think it's something that we all look at and think, oh my God, I've been robbed. Like, you literally look at your space and you walk in after all the decorations are down, or you wake up that morning after and you go, what's going on? And you actually hate your home. Like, it's just facts. It's like when you go to a show home, you just hate your home automatically. Does anyone else do that? I do that all the time. It's my job. And I come out home and I'm like, oh, get me out. It's horrendous. My eyes, I cannot even look. So I feel, yeah, I really do. But this is sort of the analysis process that you need to go through. First things first, is it only bare because you've taken the tree away? Not the fact that something needs to take its place, okay? I'm lucky in the fact that, okay, yeah, it does look bare for a week or two, but then looking at it, it's a nice cozy space. The way we put our tree, we haven't like moved anything to adjust. We've literally just put our tree there and that's where it belongs. And once it's tucked down, something being there and bulky would just definitely ruin the space. Now, don't get me wrong, if it's a real bare space, like if you've specifically put your tree in the corner and then you remove it and there's the biggest gap in the world and it's honestly like just getting you down, bothering you, then assess the area, okay? And by that I mean function first. I know, who am I saying that, because I absolutely don't ever pick that and usually pick aesthetic, but in this case I would suggest function. If that corner is somewhere where you could put like a large accent chair, maybe a console table, what space you're working with, and before you actually pick something and decide upon it, I'd maybe sit with it for like, I know it sounds mad, but maybe a month. I'd maybe leave it till the end of January after all the decks are down and like assess the area and think, actually, do I need something here, or am I just overthinking it? You know, the tree's been there for sort of over a month. So just sort of sit on that and see where you're at. I wouldn't make a rash decision, because naturally with something being there and taking up space, you do get used to it, and then you do get used to it when it comes down. But if it's something that you are unsure of in terms of you need a function in that corner, I totally get it. But also remember, when the tree comes back up next year, you're going to have to move that object as well, kind of thing. So make sure you just think and function first instead of, oh, panic, like it looks empty. We all get that feeling, and it's probably not a nice feeling, and you do panic. Honestly, I just naturally hate everything surrounding it. I don't know what it is in January when we take them decks down, but I'm like, oh, house, oh my God. Like, I just question everything. I mean, I really do. Not that I've not got a million things to do. I'm currently doing a bedroom renovation, and I'm currently doing this studio up whenever it decides to be finished, because I've never actually done a tour in here. So yeah, that's currently where I'm at with my life. But yeah, anyway, I do hope you have enjoyed this podcast episode. It is so nice to be back, and I do hope if you are new here, you have ended up subscribing. I'm sorry, I literally couldn't get my words out. It is the first one back, so do bear with me. But as I said, I'm going to be really consistent this year. I want to show up not only for myself but also for you guys, for the podcast, because it honestly is something I'm super passionate about. I love talking about every aspect about interiors. I've got so many exciting podcast episodes coming up as well, and yeah, it's been really, really fun. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting back into the swing of things. So thank you so much for listening and for watching, and I'll catch you on the next episode.